So I was terrified. And, oh man, they're here for me. They're going to get me. They're going to find me. They're going to search the house for me.
Terrified indeed, one Austin teen comes face to face with a burglar during a daring home invasion. It was a terrifying situation for the 16-year-old who is now speaking out, hoping it will help police catch one of the men who is still on the loose. Fox 7's Nancy Zambrano joining us live from South Austin with the story. Nancy?
Loriana, no doubt a traumatizing situation for 16-year-old Emma Strube as burglars break in and ransack her home. All this while she is still inside. APD says it was a series of smart decisions that she made that allowed them to catch the suspects in the act. Just a couple of days into her Christmas break from school, 16-year-old Emma Strube was home alone and sleeping in when she heard a knock on the door, not expecting any visitors.
So I just kind of went back to sleep, ignored it, but they kept knocking and knocking and knocking and ringing the doorbell. And then I heard them come around the side and knock on this door.
She began to get suspicious and carefully peeked out through the living room window.
I saw a man I didn't know knocking on my door, and I saw another man sitting in a kind of vanilla-ish sports car.
Emma waited for the men to leave and called her mother at work.
I told her just in case, said hang up right now and call 911. And she did that.
Emma was able to give officers a good description of that suspicious vehicle, a move that would later prove vital. 2 hours later, the two men returned. Scared they may have seen her alone inside, she picked up her cell phone and ran into her brother's room. She hid inside a small closet. From inside, she dialed 911 again and whispered to operators as the men knocked on the door and then kicked it in.
I told her where in the house they were. They first went into the living room, and I listened to what they were saying, seeing if they were looking for me. And I heard them talking about money and valuable items.
For minutes, Emma could hear them roaming through the house, taking items and ransacking the place. One of the men, 31-year-old Samuel Vega, was making his way to her hiding place.
And that's when, as I'm holding onto the door, one of them pulls it open, and for a moment it's about a foot open, and we are a foot away from each other. And the guy's eyes got wide, and he bolted.
But APD officers were just outside entering the home. They had been nearby looking for that suspicious car. The officer tackled one of the men and arrested him, but Vega got away. Emma's mother, Ginger, now glad Emma knew exactly what to do.
It's also important to run through different scenarios of what would happen. If this happens, you do this.
And the family tells us that they have now beefed up security at their home. APD tells us that this teenager did exactly what she was supposed to do, run away or hide and then call 911 and have them on the phone the entire time. They ask if you have any information on the whereabouts of Samuel Vega to contact authorities. Back to you.